What's up? Week 11 and the Caleb Williams roller coaster continues. 1 week after basically everybody in Chicago was ready to write him off as probably a bust, he comes back with arguably his best game yet. It was a lot of really easy stuff, and Thomas Brown did a really great job of simplifying the offense, just calling easy, quick developing plays so Caleb didn't have to sit and think too much. But Caleb did it. He got the ball out quickly. He was decisive. He was fairly accurate on the day. He wasn't asked to throw deep. He only threw deep twice, but one of them was that awesome 4th down conversion, which was pretty well executed, if you ask me. And Caleb did his part in giving the Bears a chance to win. Now, Jordan Love also did a large part in that, between the goal line interception and the failed 4th down conversion at the goal line. Had Jordan Love just executed some plays pretty simply, this wouldn't have been a close enough game for the Bears to get back into. But we live in this world where Jordan Love did those things and Caleb Williams led the super clutch drive to bring his team back until they didn't come back. So, my fellow Chicagoans, let us break down this film and see why we have some reason to believe Caleb Williams could be a franchise quarterback still. All right, let's get it going. All right. Keep in mind the Bears are going to get the ball out very quickly in this game, but on the first play, Caleb just misses. Right? He rolls out, and he does the right job throwing back against the grain to keep Rome Odunze safe from that defender, but he just throws it a little too hard and a little too far inside. Bad throw. These things happen. Here, there are open receivers, right? Like, you could fit that ball into Keenan Allen if you throw it a little earlier, right? About now is when you need to throw it. Caleb Williams even begins to throw it, but then he changes his mind. Instead, Caleb Williams bails out, but gets a nice 15-yard gain. And that's one thing that I think Thomas Brown really instilled in Caleb Williams in this game is if the first thing you see isn't clear and it's not there, just run, it's fine. Caleb Williams did a really good job of when he didn't see something, that's a routine screen, just bailing and using his athleticism. And that's not a long-term recipe for success, but Caleb Williams is a rookie, and he's a rookie who's struggling to find his footing. So for the time being, I think that is a perfectly acceptable answer to being a little confused. Things will slow down as he matures, and it'll get easier for him. More things will be clear. He won't want to run as much. Here's just a bad throw. And I've noticed a lot, I noticed it in college as well, Caleb Williams' accuracy falls off a cliff when he feels pressured. I'm also realizing right now that saying pressured is a lot nicer sounding than saying scared. It just kind of sounds kind of silly if you say Caleb Williams missed because he was scared. But that's what happened. He feels pressure that's not really there yet. He sees lots of yellow helmets near him and feels like, oh no, what if I get hit? And I noticed this in college too. He does a thing I call flamingoing. When he feels bodies around him, when he throws, he kind of leans away and stands on one foot and turns to the side, like a flamingo. I think you'll see it on the tight copy. It's not the best example of flamingoing, but it's an example nonetheless. See how he kind of like turns his whole body away from the hit, and it messes up his mechanics, and it pulls the ball to the left. If you're a golfer or a baseball player, you know if you turn your body too much into your swing, you kind of miss towards the opposite side of your arm or your swing. So in this case, Caleb Williams turns left because he's kind of afraid of getting hit, and he misses. So give him a plus pocket movement because he did get hit, and it's a bad throw. Right, so that's correctable. We know why Caleb is missing. I doubt that in his mid-20s or 30s he will become more okay with getting hit, but it's something to understand. Like, this just isn't a guy who's going to stand in there, make pro-style throws while getting hit while under pressure. He needs to run around. He needs a spread system with quick releases. So, routine throw followed by a pretty solid throw. Sorry, the All-22 cut itself off. Soldier Field had a lot of issues with the All-22 this week. I had to do what I could. Here, Caleb Williams, again, top of the drop.
Sure, there are outlets, right? You could hit 14 out of the backfield. You could wait and hit DJ Moore on that deep curl. That's pretty damn open. But it's not easy, and it doesn't feel simple, so Caleb Williams just bails out and uses his legs, and that's fine. It's a neutral run, right? It's just as good as a check down. And that's the kind of the benefit, the advantage that these athletic quarterbacks have. They don't have to be perfect mentally, right? Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. When the play's over, the play's not over. So they can just make things happen to correct their mistakes, right? When they make decisions in pencil, whereas a Tom Brady makes decisions in pen. Here is a bad throw. They didn't have the wide copy, so I have to show you the tight, but notice that the ball hits the ground on a screen. That's terrible. And again, it's because he feels flustered. I think I understand why he feels flustered. What's a guy to do? The Bears actually have a pretty decent offensive line by any metric you use, or if you just watch the film. He's typically got enough time. But on that play, he did not. And Caleb Williams has a propensity to hold onto the ball as it is. He doesn't see things very quickly. So he's taken a lot of sacks already this year. He's got a little bit of scar tissue built up. He's going to need to unlearn that. And he did a pretty good job of unlearning that today. 3 sacks, 2 weren't his fault. Here's a couple of routine throws, both to first reads. Again, Thomas Brown making it real easy on the guy. Lots of quick curls, lots of quick flats. Just get the ball out of your hands. And if it's not there, if you don't see it, right, it's there. You can throw it. You can throw to 4 at the top of the screen on that slant. You can throw down at the bottom of the screen on that outbreaker. But it doesn't feel easy. It feels claustrophobic, and it's 3rd down. So just run, and that's okay. Great run. Positive run. Caleb Williams is going to follow it up again. On this play, you'll see open receivers. I believe it's Cole Kmet. No, it's not. It's Rome Odunze on that deep over. He's open. Caleb Williams says, there's a defender too close. I don't want it. Keenan Allen breaking out. Put a nice ball on him, and that's a 1st down. No, it's scary. So just run, dude. And that's great. It's a positive run. He doesn't have to be a perfect decision maker because he's a really great athlete. Screen. Screens are good. Play action. This is a great play. First of all, great throw, Caleb Williams. Lovely. Let's diagram real quick. I'll show you what happened. So, first of all, Odunze is going to run like a deep corner. It looks like a streak at first, and then he kind of bends it to the sideline. Doesn't really matter what it is. His whole job is to draw zone defenders away from the play. At the top of the screen, DJ Moore is running a curl. He's kind of a decoy, doesn't matter. Keenan Allen is going to motion across and then just run a screen to the bottom. He's going to hang out, and your running back's just going to look for space. The key, the intended receiver, and the eventual target is Cole Kmet running a corner. Now, this is designed to beat zone defense, and Caleb gets a teeny bit lucky here. Let me explain why. You see the 2 safeties at the top of the screen? That looks like base cover 2. Really simple. It could be cover 2 man, but it looks like at least base cover 2. Worth noting that this play will beat cover 2, but it won't beat cover 2 man. So when the motion happens and the play action fake to Keenan Allen happens, hopefully Caleb Williams sees this safety pop down. Now the reason this safety pops down is because the Packers are actually rotating into cover 3. This can be tricky, and if the play had been different, it might have really fooled and messed up Caleb Williams. All right, when the pink marker comes out, you know that that's me explaining what's going to happen. So the way this play is designed, Odunze is running deep, and that means he's basically just taking away 24, right? He's just occupying this defender, pulling him as deep downfield as he can. Now, what gets a little dicey is what is this safety that drop down going to do? Because it's cover 3, he's coming down, right? He's going to be preoccupied with Keenan Allen. He's going to see the screen and he's going to think, I can't leave him wide open. He's my responsibility. And if I just bail and run with Cole Kmet, that's a 15, 20-yard gain on a screen. That's really easy for the quarterback to hit. So he's going to play basically middleman. He's actually going to hang out right where this circle is because he's trying to split the difference between the screen and Cole Kmet. What does all this mean? Clean it up a little bit. It means that this guy is playing monkey in the middle. Caleb Williams gets to decide which one is closer, the screen or Cole Kmet. All right, let's run the film and see exactly how it works, because due to this clear out, there's going to be a big hole right where that corner is, right where that arrow on that corner is. It's going to work perfectly. Great design, fortuitous matchup. Right, and it works just like I said. 29 is kind of stuck. He's like, I don't know, should I play Keenan Allen? Because, I mean, he's got 15 yards to work with right here. Or should I play Cole Kmet? And by the time he realizes he's got to be on Cole Kmet, the ball's already there. And it's perfectly timed. It's a perfectly timed ball. It's a perfectly thrown ball. We'll see it on the tight copy. Now, this would have worked a little differently if it had ended up being cover 2 like the Packers showed before the snap, but it still would have worked. The only fear is if it had actually been man coverage, which Caleb Williams might have thought, like, well, you see when 29 comes down to match the motion, I could totally see Caleb Williams thinking, oh, that means it's man. They're manning up. But luckily he didn't take that bait, whether it's because he was too dumb to or too smart to get fooled. Doesn't matter. He didn't take the bait. He didn't think it was man coverage, because if it had been, this is probably an incompletion, and it might even be a pick. But good job, Caleb Williams. At best, he diagnosed the defense. At worst, he didn't get fooled by the bait. That's the anatomy of a really nice play, and it's Caleb Williams' best play of the day, if you ask me. Best throw, pretty clearly. The 4th and 3 we'll see later is his second best throw, but that one was better. Here, you can see once again, you see Caleb Williams' feet. I don't care about footwork and mechanics. What I care about is accuracy. And here, Caleb Williams is very inaccurate because he gets scared, and you can tell he gets scared by his feet. See how he just kind of like chops them for no reason right there? See, it is moving for no reason. It's because he feels pressure that's not there, and that's why he misses high. And missing high downfield like that is bad. Here you'll get a better view of his feet and just like how Caleb Williams is kind of freaking out. The panic that sets in. Right, just be calm. And you don't have to force it to Odunze. You've got the tight end in the flat. If you don't like it, you don't have to throw it. And that was kind of Thomas Brown's moral of the day. If you don't like it, you don't have to throw it. What's not to like about a wide open curl? Right, so Caleb Williams threw a lot of routine balls, a lot of easy balls. Here he does a nice job of navigating pressure, right? He steps up in the pocket, which shows you that he's not as scared as maybe we thought. Stepping up in the pocket is kind of a fearless thing to do, because typically your instinct is, oh crap, people are coming for me, I need to run away. It's counterintuitive to step up into it. Takes a little contact to make a throw, plus pocket movement, routine throw. Right, this is growth. We're not saying that Caleb Williams has been great in this game. I certainly wouldn't say that, but is a lot better. And whereas last week and the week before he looked inept, in this game he looks fine enough. I will say on this play, he misses a read. Watch DJ Moore at the bottom of the screen, because that's who this ball needs to go to. It's not a touchdown, but it gets you to the goal line. Right here is where Caleb Williams needs to throw to him. But as you can see, Caleb Williams is still looking to the top of the screen because he hasn't processed quickly enough. Right here is where the ball needs to be hitting DJ Moore. And he's got a chance to score, but he at least gets you down to like the 2-yard line here. If you hit him, if the ball's hitting him now. Not if you throw now, if you hit him with the ball now. Right? You need to understand when you see this play, oh, it's zone, they're dropping back. 56 has turned his back to me to guard 15. I need to gun the ball to 2 right now. Caleb's not there yet in his development, so he doesn't notice until it's too late. And he says, all right, I don't see a rushing lane. I'm just going to throw it up and see if Rome Odunze can make a sick catch. And he can't. It's a bad throw. He missed an opportunity. But, you know, it's not the worst thing. Here, I will show you just how quickly an NFL quarterback has to think. And I cannot think this quickly. But I have pause, I have replay, and I also have this fun thing where I can stop sharing my screen with you guys so I can watch the play a couple times, make sure I know what I'm talking about, and then do it again. Here's exactly, I'll say now, when Caleb Williams needs to load up and fire the ball to DJ Moore on the left side of your screen. Now. Like, now is when he needs to load up. As soon as he crosses number 7. As soon as you see 56 turn towards 15, and you see 7 let him pass by, boom, the ball needs to be hitting DJ Moore right here. like hitting him, right? So let's do it again. Ready? Now. This is when the ball needs to leave his hands. And it doesn't. Yeah, that's a very safe miss, right? Like, if Rome Odunze doesn't make the catch of the year, it's just going to be an incomplete pass and you live to fight another day. But a miss nonetheless. Here, Caleb Williams got nothing, and he makes something out of it. Plus pocket movement, neutral run. It's a short run. It's as good as a check down. But right here, so the idea behind this play, you roll him out and you bring Rome Odunze with him. So the idea is, hopefully, you have one defender trying to cover Rome Odunze, and you've got no defenders on Caleb Williams, and then they get to play monkey in the middle, right? And if the defender comes up to hit the quarterback, you throw it over his head to Odunze. And if he stays with Odunze, you just keep running and let Odunze block. And if 55 wasn't there to ruin everything, that's exactly what would have happened, and it would have been a 15-yard gain. But 55 is there to ruin everything, and Caleb makes it okay. Great pocket movement. I mean, it's not a pocket movement, right? Great behind the line of scrimmage movement to juke out and duck under the defender, and then he makes a decent play out of it with his legs. A little late, but I won't begrudge it. Routine throw. This is a bad throw, and it's very dangerous, and it completely cuts against the idea of the entire game on first down, by the way, which is just, if it doesn't look easy, don't throw it. Honestly, the ball, if we're sticking with the theme of everything being easy, check the ball down to Roschon Johnson. He's got plenty of room to run, and he's a good running back. And if you're going to be aggressive, well, throw the ball up to DJ Moore. He's one-on-one with a safety. Just chuck it to the 5-yard line and see if DJ Moore can go chase it down. Instead, I don't understand what he's doing. I know he's got Keenan Allen on a linebacker, but like, he throws it right at the linebacker. I'll show you on the tight copy. It could have been intercepted. It would have been a great interception. And a 50-50 ball against a 6'3" possession receiver is no easy task for a linebacker. So, you know, I don't think it's a reasonably interceptable ball, but it's a bad one. Even still, the decision, which I don't agree with, wouldn't have been so bad if the ball had just been better placed. Excuse my hiccups. Routine screen. Routine. All right, this is the money. This is the final drive, and Caleb Williams starts off okay. Oh no, it's not the final drive. It's the second to final drive. All right, starts off with a routine throw, and here we got a bad deep ball, yet again. I've been impressed with how seldom Thomas Brown called deep balls, because I guess he just understands Caleb Williams is not very good at these. Caleb has an open receiver underneath. He could have hit instead, but he wants it all. He's got Rome Odunze one-on-one. He thinks that's the move. You can see Odunze does a good job of tracking the ball. He sees it up in the air, and rather than just sprinting, he kind of slows down a little bit to measure up to the ball. He gets a little bit interfered with. You could argue, I wouldn't begrudge it, right? Like, his foot hits a helmet here, and that kind of slows him down. But still, Odunze was going to have to dive for that ball one way or another. It was inaccurately thrown. 0 of 1 on deep balls, yet again. At this point in the season, Caleb Williams is hitting under 10% of his deep attempts. That's really bad. Luckily, he hits one later in the game to bring that right back to about 10%, but woof. It's a solid enough throw. It's a really nice design. It's kind of a wheel out, right? So like Keenan Allen bows out and then breaks into an out route. And, you know, uses his big body and a little bit of shiftiness to get open. Ball was not well placed, but well enough placed. It's a routine throw. That's the beauty of these easy routes, right? Is it doesn't have to be perfect. It's plenty enough. Another routine throw. Routine throw. Bad ball. Behind him, way too high. And no pressure. And see, Caleb flamingoing again. And there's nobody near him that's actually hitting him. He's just doing that flamingo thing he does. He doesn't like getting touched. He doesn't like the thought of getting touched. And it causes the ball to be inaccurate. Not the most accurate ball, but catchable enough. Routine. Is this the next drive? I believe it is. Yep, this is the last drive. First down. Caleb gets sacked, but I don't know what you want him to do, right? You got curls on the inside, and you got outs on the outside. It's a very small ball play, and nobody's open whatsoever. It's cover 2, and everybody is totally zoned off. No fault sack. What's he going to do, right? He didn't extend the play any, but it's certainly not his fault the pressure got home. Here, you got to have that ball out to Keenan Allen right here. Get the ball out to Keenan Allen at the 35, and he's going to get you to almost the 40, if not the 40. It'll be first down, and you'll keep the chains moving with a chance to win the game. Instead, Caleb Williams doesn't like it, holds on to it, what am I going to do? And takes a bad sack. And that could be a game ender, because now it's 3rd and 19. So most of the time, that is a pivotal, terrible sack. And that's the only one that I charged to Caleb Williams on this game. That one was his fault. But Caleb Williams totally redeems himself right here with an awesome play. This is an elite play, and let me break it down. It's only a great throw, right? Let's go the ball at the 15. Gets caught at about the 35. 20-yard throw. Really, really good velocity. But it's a curl, and the guy was open. It's a great throw, not an elite throw. Better than solid, way better than routine, but not quite special. What's special about this play is the mobility. And that gets graded too, but separately. So the play actually, I'll show you the full copy again real quick. The play calls for hit Cole Kmet right now, right? Cole Kmet, tight end at the 20-yard marker. Boom, he catches this, he turns it upfield. You get like to the 30, maybe the 35, and you're looking at 4th and long. 4th and 5, 4th and 10, something in that range. But Caleb Williams says, nah, I like something more. And this is why Caleb Williams has taken a lot of bad sacks this year, but it also is what makes him special, right? Ball should be out now, but not how Caleb Williams sees it. So he ducks under a tackle, that's plus movement. He rolls out, that's plus movement. He throws on the run, that's plus movement. So he gets 3 plus pocket movements and a great throw, which is almost exactly the same point total he would get for just an elite 40-yard deep ball. Speaking of deep balls, 4th and 3. This play call is insane. Let me diagram it for you and see if you like what they did. So your primary is Rome Odunze running a streak, and then Cole Kmet next to him is, I can't really tell what he's trying to do because he gets contacted so thoroughly by the defensive back. I think it was supposed to be a corner, but I can't tell. I legitimately can't tell. I just know he's also running deep. I would imagine it's probably a corner that's supposed to go under the streak, kind of like that play I diagrammed before, but it's hard to tell. And then on the backside, you just got 2 curls, neither of which get open at all because this is very clearly man coverage with a single high safety. And yeah, remember, you only need to get to the 40-yard line. So this is kind of crazy, right? You've got 2 receivers down in the same area, and they're both deep. And Caleb Williams has to make a great throw. Now, it's not a perfect throw, because you'll see right off the line, Odunze is actually winning, which means that theoretically you want to lead him upfield, right? Let him run under the ball away from the defender. Now, you have a safety charging over the top of the, over the top of the play at the 40-yard line on the opposite side of the field, but he's 20 yards away, 25 if you count for the diagonal. And you have enough space to lead Odunze a little bit. Let him use his big body and his speed to continue to beat the defensive back and then box him out for the catch. But Caleb Williams says, I'm not risking any of that. Rome Odunze is a big boy with great hands. I'm throwing it on the back shoulder. And it's a perfect back shoulder ball. I graded it as great. You could argue it's elite. I would not begrudge it. The reason I don't grade it as elite is because Odunze has to make a dope catch. And this is why I hate the play call. I think it's a disadvantageous play call, right? Because first of all, you've got Cole Kmet running basically right next to DJ Moore, so the safety can cheat towards that side of the field. I would much rather you run a slot streak on the other side with DJ Moore so that the safety has to decide, do I go left or do I go right? And he stays in the middle because of it. due to the fact that the receivers at the top of the screen ran short, the safety doesn't have to think. He can just say like, oh, okay, I'm running down to the bottom of the screen. But Odunze has to stop, right? So you see him stick his hand out. That means he's saying, I'm going deep. I'm winning deep. Caleb doesn't see it because the ball's already out. So Odunze slows down, throttles down, stops, pirouettes, reestablishes himself, and makes a spinning catch on the back shoulder. That's really tough to do. It's a great catch. It's a great play by Odunze. It's also a great throw by Caleb Williams. Together, it combines to be a super special play. But it's not because of any one player. It's the combination of them. And they overcame a terrible play call by their coach. Not terrible. I mean, anytime you're throwing deep, it's not terrible. But certainly not an easy design. Here, once again, you can see Caleb Williams kind of fall away from pressure, right? He doesn't step into his throw. He backs off, even though there's no defender very close to him. And because of that, the ball comes up short. Now, it's still catchable, and I'll give him a solid throw for it because it's a first down. And it puts them in legitimate field goal range, whereas they were on the very, very, very fringes of it. So it's a big throw. But you see the cracks in the foundation. You see that the guy really can't handle being touched. He needs great protection, and he needs things spread out so that he can make quick, tiny little throws, easy decisions, open middle of field without feeling any claustrophobia. Overall, I think that this game showed a lot of promise for Caleb Williams, right? Like, he hit the easy throws. He even hit a deep throw, which happens literally once out of every 10 attempts this year. He's never going to be a surgeon. He's never going to stand back there, survey the field, pick apart the defense deep downfield. That's not him. He's not a Justin Herbert or a Josh Allen or a Tom Brady. He's a Kyler Murray. He's a smaller quarterback who's very quick and tough to tackle in the pocket, but he needs shotgun. He needs 4 or 5 receivers. They don't have to be wide receivers. They could be tight ends. And he needs things to spread out. He doesn't need floods and like tight window decisions. He needs it to be very simple. Every defender drops back. I have deep routes that are decoys pulling the defense apart. I have short routes that are who I'm actually trying to hit. And if the short routes are covered, I take off. And he could be a very effective player that way. I think that to Thomas Brown's credit, he actually ripped off a lot of this offense that he ran in week 11, week 1 of Thomas Brown. He ripped a lot of that offense off from Cliff Kingsbury and what he's been doing in Washington. Quick screens, get the ball out, no thought. Play action, one read, throw it to your first guy. Try to keep the ball on the perimeter, short routes, 1 or 2 deep shots a game, nothing serious. Except, of course, on 4th and 3 with a game on the line, which is beyond me. I think that there is a way forward for Caleb Williams. Now, he's never going to be the generational quarterback that a lot of people said he was. He's much more likely to be the guy I said he would be, which is a solid starting quarterback, a franchise guy, but not one that you're thrilled about. Like, not the kind of guy that's going to carry you deep in the playoffs, but the kind of guy that'll get you there. The kind of guy that if you give him a good roster, he can contend. But, we're talking more Kirk Cousins than we are Patrick Mahomes. And frankly, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been that either in a couple years, but we will not get into Patrick Mahomes slander now because I will never stop seeing hate. So, Caleb Williams showed promise. He was decisive and accurate for the most part. He really needs to be kept clean because he cannot handle the thought of pressure. He gets scared easy. He can't throw deep, but every once in 10, it's like Fulton Reed and the Mighty Ducks. How often you hit the net? 2 out of 5? Well, bring it down to 1 out of 5, and there you go. Reason for hope. It's not going to manifest itself into anything as long as Matt Eberflus is around, and I don't think Thomas Brown is the best offensive coordinator to bring things out of Caleb Williams. But it should be better. It should be better. Quicker developing routes, less thought. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Does this one game against the Packers where he scored 19 points mean that Caleb Williams is the chosen one? This game that the Packers totally should have blown the Bears out in because Jordan Love botched it. Or Do you think this is kind of a fluke and Caleb Williams still stinks? Maybe it's just the weather. Maybe he got bad when it got cold out. It's not that cold out. Maybe he's going through something and it's just a mental thing that'll switch back on. And maybe it switched back on in week 11. For me, I know what my diagnosis is. Hit me in the comments, throw me a like and a subscription if you want more Caleb Williams videos, because I'm still trying to figure out which quarterbacks I'm going to focus on for the rest of the year. And until those next videos, I'm going to keep growing film. Asta.